Yeah, I love that it's somebody out there still doing it. There should be more people doing it.
Right. No, absolutely. So that's what kind of put things in motion for me to get my ass going.
Nice. So are you from like Ohio area or like because you said you moved back and forth between there and like California?
Yeah, well, I was born in California, and yeah, for the most part from Cleveland,
Okay.
mostly, I would say. Yeah,
That's cool.
I didn't know you were from California.
yeah, you know it?
We're
Well,
learning shit
thank
together,
you.
guys.
Yeah, born in Central
I've
California.
known you for what? 20 minutes.
I've known him for 20 years.
Exactly.
We just leveled out. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. All right, Brandon. What about you? How did you get in? Are you strictly a bass player? Are you a jack of all trades like everybody else? Like, what's your story? How did you get into all this?
I can barely play bass. I'm easily like the weak link, but no, I was like I didn't grow up in a musical family. I was always surrounded by it. My father was a music radar when he was in college. He was like I always had like stuff at at Access, but like when I was a little kid, like Duran, like Seven and the Ragged Tiger, like I wouldn't I wore it out. Like I loved it. I don't think I have the Welcome Back Cotter, but I had the Fisher Price one and just flip it all the time. But then so I always had like that, like I was always drawn to like whatever that was. And then when it first started became like similar to you, like I saw like Guns N' Roses, and I saw like everybody was always attracted to like Slash and Axl. I was like Duff McKagan. I'm like that dude is awesome. Like this is like he's so cool. That's what I want to be. And I remember thinking that I was gonna get in trouble for like listening to this stuff. Like my parents taught me with like after the instruction, I would have been in deep shit. So I'd like hide in my room and like listen to them.
I did the same thing. I used to hide. Yeah, I used to hide. I used to hide my tapes in a brown bag underneath my bed.
It's like drugs.
Like it was porn.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, my mom found that Stay Hungry cover, and I was in deep shit for that.
But it felt like that was the first time it felt like music was mine, and like I just had like been chasing that feeling ever since. So like that was probably that I've only come to realize that now what a profound influence not only that band was, but specifically like the look and like the aesthetic of it, but also the sound. I picked the right good songs, and then what attracted me, I mean, that attracted me to bass. And honestly, before I got into like punk or like metal or anything like that, I was really into like rap, like the Public Enemies and like NWA and Eric B and EPMD and like all of that stuff because I liked the low end.
I love all that stuff too.
So I was attracted to that frequency, and it just felt like bass. Just felt like Then I heard the Chronic. I was like, okay, that's just all just like, okay, I'm in. And then just started jamming, and like I remember I put an ad out, and like Steve was the one that picked up the ad, and like. So if we want to talk about influences like Steve and Justin, by playing, like I became a musician because of them. Like if we didn't answer that, I don't know if I would have like actually ever ended up in a band. I would have probably given up after that. So it's really cool to like have like my history catch up with me. You know what I mean? So like, I've played guitar. That's how actually I know Connor.
Okay.
Connor.
Yeah, I know Connor.
I played in a band with him for a little bit, and I played guitar in that band. So he's a good buddy of mine. So
yeah, Connor's cool.
For the most part, pretty much bass.
That's cool. There's not a lot more punk rock than that to being like, I just wanted to be in a band, so I just tried it out, and it worked out. I mean, that's pretty fucking rad. That's kind of like a cool origin story. So I don't even really know. Like, so you guys got together. What was it like in the beginning for you guys as a band? Like, were you like a house party kind of band? Were you guys getting gigs? Like, what were you guys doing starting out?
With this band, you mean, or?
Fuck it, any band, I don't care. Whatever you guys started getting together and doing your thing. We can go back to the first time you played together. Did the first time you guys played together, did it go anywhere? Like, did you get any kind of hype around the area?
Not really. We didn't do a whole lot. I mean, we just basically I would take all the songs and just demo. I would demo everything, and I would do everything myself. I'd have a drum machine, and I would play the shit out of this drum machine in a way that like a lot of people couldn't tell that it was the drum machine, which is like pretty awesome. But
it's hard to do, yeah, because usually drum machines like.
Yeah, I I would just demo all this stuff, and I'd do all the guitars, and I'd do all the bass, and I'd do all the vocals, and write all the songs and stuff, and I just had like just tons and tons of songs, and like I don't know, I just ended up I ended up showing them to these guys, and they were like, well, some of these could work, and then they just started working. But yeah, it was pretty small. It's like it is now. It was pretty small, like just a couple shows here and there, like nothing huge going on. And a whole lot of people coming up to me going like, "Oh my God, that was really good," So,
Yeah, it's like, how long have you guys been together? It's like, oh, this is our first show.
Yeah, right. Like I said, the first time that we ever did a show at all was like literally down almost to the day it was 10 years ago. Yeah.
And it's like you mentioned the Misfits, and I'm not drawing a comparison to the Misfits, but like history likes to rewrite itself. Where it's like, oh, it must have been such a thing, and there must have been hundreds and hundreds of people there, and then you go back and actually look, and there's like a handful of people that like actually
absolutely
got to witness that. And we're not comparing that experience of seeing us, but that was very much the thing. It was like little tiny bursts of people. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
It was,
well, I think we live in a society now where people think that bigger is better. It's no longer like way back when you showed up to this fucking party and some local band played and blew the fucking roof off of the place versus now you got to buy tickets for some studio created artist. It's not the same anymore. And that's why music nowadays just it lacks substance. It doesn't have. So I love hearing new to me, but you guys have been together forever, but new to me, but the bands that are still out there that are doing it in a very old school kind of way, the way it should be done. That's how people got famous once upon a time. They didn't do it like they do now. And it's tragic because now when it comes to music and again, being an artist, it's more of like a handout situation. As long as you're pretty enough and they can auto-tune your voice good enough, you're in. And they need more bands like you guys that I would consider like the blue collar fucking bands. You work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You go see this fucking band. You drink your face off. You fucking punch some people and you go home. It's good fucking shit, right? So I love that you guys are out here doing this. I do have a question because I think earlier you had said some of the songs that you're playing now, you actually played way back when. So what's the difference? Because I find it hard to believe that. I know you guys have to have some kind of following. Your shit's just too tight. It sounds too good that you can't have some kind of following. So what's the difference between playing those songs then to playing those songs now that are making people, I guess more people come see you or at least continuously seeing you? Like, do you guys feel like it was just like you grew up, you took it more seriously, you improved so much more? Like, what do you think the big difference is from then till now?
Yeah, no, he's not wrong. We're just better. We're just better players, like overall, and that's really I think that's the most of it. Is we've done a lot of things in between, like when we started doing this and in between, and yeah, we're just better.
Yeah,
I guess so. Better. I should hope that we were better at least.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Hell, if you're better, fucking say you're better. I mean that.
Right.
I think we're also in the mindset of it doesn't have to be just all ripping fast punk rock songs. I mean, we can have the same attitude with mid-tempo or a slower kind of song.
Right. We're
There's
not
a lot of vocal harmonies.
Yeah, we're not afraid to put that kind of stuff in now. Where like years ago we might have been like, hey, I don't know. Well, now that we're older and more laid back, we're not afraid. Yeah, we don't care. We don't even care what people think. Yeah.
I'm glad you like it, but
that's cool.
And we're tired anyway.
No, fuck.
We worked a lot, and we're tired. So.
Well, yeah, because like I said earlier, like you're doing that. It's like the blue collar thing. You're working. You guys are living regular lives. You're getting older. You're fucking tired. I feel that. I'm the same age. But then you're going to put on a show. So I like to hear that you guys aren't afraid to like do other things because a lot of people, they get trapped in like this bubble, I guess, where they just don't want to branch out. So that's fucking cool, man. I did see you have. I had a hard time with it. Is it one album? Lank? I remember seeing that. That's the one I've listened to the most. I'm guessing that's the name of it. That's what came up when I looked it up. That's where I heard most of it, and then maybe like 2 like EPs or something that came out. Is that what you have out?
There's the full length that we did in 2020. is what? Oh my God, what
Sirens on the Radio.
Sirens on the Radio, which is kind of like a throwback to radio silence. Kind of became like Sirens on the Radio. It just, I don't know how that happened. It just kind of happened. But the full length being Sirens on the Radio, that was 2020, and then the EP that we just did a handful of months ago is called Lank.
Okay.
And that's what we have. That's what we have out right now so far.
Yeah, I was listening mostly on Spotify, and it doesn't exactly like let you move around and select what the fuck you want to listen to. So I was having a hard time like figuring out what was what. But hey, I knew the name, so whatever. How long? How long did it take you guys to like get into the studio and put that album together?
The first one?
Yeah.
We started jamming in May officially, and then had it completed by February the following year, so 2020. We actually wrapped recording the day before everything went into lockdown, so we just got it in. So
is that true?
Yeah, remember you and I were driving back, and you're like, I remember you looking at your phone like, we're going into quarantine. We're about to get shut down. I'm like, thank God we finished this record.
Oh my God! I'm
so,
glad you remember that.
And
holy fuck, that's lucky, man.
Yeah, we're walking into our rehearsal space for the first time to 10 months later, we had our first record out. So,
wow. Well, that's good. That's cool, man.
Right.
Yeah, man, that just blew my mind. So you finished you said the first day of lockdown. Fuck. You got lucky because could you imagine if like you needed a little more time? You guys would have been finishing it up like 6 months ago.
The house.
Yeah.
To the studio.
Yeah, Chris is the same like us. Like we can trust him. He can trust us.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of all the mixing. He would mix it and then send us the mixes, and then we listen to it.
Yeah.
Give notes, and
Chris like worked his ass off.
High five to
stuff.
Chris Wright, man.
Yeah, he worked his ass off with that stuff and was sending us mixes that we would promptly complain about and just be like, nah, you gotta change that.
Does he have like his own studio, or does he work somewhere? Like,
yeah.
What's the name of it? Like, what's the name of it so people can check it out?
Well, it's called Rubber Lizard, and here's the interesting thing about Chris, though, is we finished that record, and like we're pretty proud of the way it sounds.
Oh yeah.
But we played on it, but that's a lot of his handiwork. And I was like, hey man, I'm like doing the liner notes and everything for the record. I'm like, what's the name of your studio? Because he didn't even have a name at that point. And he's like, I don't know that I want everybody to know about it because I want to do these as passion projects. Wow. Just like the three of us play together because we love playing together, and like the output's what's worth it, and we love that people love it. But the same thing for him, he just wants to put out stuff that he loves for his friends, which is like really moving if you think about it.
No, that's awesome.
He got out there. I was like, dude, let us.
We had to force him to take money.
Yeah, let us do. Like, can we buy you dinner? Like, can we buy you lunch as we take a break? And he's to me, he's like the unspoken fourth member of this band. He's very much responsible for that sound. But what's so cool about him is he just wants to do it because he loves it, and he wants to do it for bands that he loves.
That's amazing.
And doesn't want to do it for the money. So it's really I don't know. He's pretty amazing.
I mean, I think that speaks to two different things. Like, it speaks to the kind of person that he is, but he clearly has some faith in the music that you're making. It's great. So, I mean, yeah, why not? But that's cool. I've definitely never heard anybody say, oh, yeah, this guy, he just wants to produce the music because he likes us. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we haven't heard of that either. So.
Yeah, I've interviewed quite a few amount of people, and I've yet to hear that. So, hey, congratulations, guys. You fucking hit the lottery on that one.
Studio time at like a professional studio is not cheap.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah,
it's very expensive. Yep. So, do you guys play a lot of live shows?
COVID screwed that up big time.
Yeah, I think we would have been, but
yeah, we probably would have been going a little bit. We've kind of dialed things back. COVID is weird. All three of us in the band have now had COVID. I contracted it from going to a show, at least from best I could tell, from going to a show.
Slapshot.
From Slapshot, from a hardcore show, yeah. Slapshot Sheer Terror. Thanks a lot. So we kind of dialed it back a little bit, and I mean that's something that we were talking about today at practice. It's like, how much do we want to really do and get out there and like not even really knowing if it's that safe to be out there. I mean, we're all vaccinated and stuff too, but it's like it doesn't seem to matter.
No, I'm vaccinated, and I still have to question where I'm gonna go. I got a family and kids. I don't know what you guys' situation is, but I got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to get them sick. That's the last thing I'd want. So it's smart.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I don't know. I guess we're kind of just taking more. We're putting more of a focus on writing good stuff. It seems like the more we go into this